Hi, this is Bob K from the AMD World Championship in Sturgis 2010. We have us today the K&N Pick of Excellence from the AMD World Championship partner party last night. We're going to be talking with Kent from Lucky Devil Cycle Works on just what he was trying to achieve here with this custom bike. Ken, we noticed you have a very long tank here and kind of a unique design, so talk to us a little bit about what style objectives you were trying to gain here.
Well, the client's kind of a big guy, so we had to work on it to make it fit him. That was kind of the main thing about stretching it out. He wanted a long bike, and I'm all about the long bike, so kind of got into that.
Well, this looks like a pretty unique tank. What was involved in fabricating it? And that's a nice finish. How did you achieve that?
Well, the tank was pretty much hand fabricated in the shop, and we just wind up doing the finish. The guy apparently rebuilt some Range Rovers and stuff, aluminum body trucks, and so him and his dad are into aluminum sheet metal, so that kind of spurred the use of aluminum on that part of the bike.
Well, I noticed that, it is a long tank, like you said, a large gentleman that owns this. What did it take to modify the chassis, or what's involved in this chassis design? What did you have to do to get it to fit everything?
Well, I pretty much cut the backbone off and about here, and then I cut the down tubes off and recreated everything in between. Pretty much everything else is stock Harley frame, and the swing arm stock Harley. I believe it even is running Harley shocks too.
Well, that's pretty interesting. You mentioned stock Harley. This is a modified Harley entry. So talk to me a little bit about the drivetrain and why you have this engine and why you chose it.
Well, the Harley puts together a pretty nice package on there to start with. We went inside and gave it a 95-inch S&S kit, kind of bring up the motor a little bit, and I always like using the Primo primaries every chance I get, so that went on there too.
I noticed that you stuck with traditional wire wheels and some Metzler tires and a chain drive. Was that just from an aesthetic point of view, or is there a functional reason for the chain and what you did with wheels and tires there?
Yeah, well, he pretty much wanted to stick with the classic look and everything, but the chain definitely helps because he likes to play on it pretty hard, so he's constantly working on the tires and the drivetrain.
Pretty nice looking seat. What was involved in getting that seat to kind of finish in and add some of the final detail on this bike?
Well, actually on this one, normally I make a pan from scratch and make the foam and everything, but on this project I kind of cheated a little bit. We used the Leah Paraseat and recovered it with some hand-tooled leather and did the hand stitching on it.
I know there's usually lots of hours into these bikes, so between the design and build time, what kind of time do we have in a project like this?
Well, this one's kind of hard to gauge because we didn't really go through it all the way through. We kind of stopped a few times, take a break on the project for different reasons. Marriage, kids coming, the client had a few things going on. So it actually took about 3 years to finish the project. Going straight through, it'd probably be about more like 6 months to a year or something under normal circumstances.
Well, it looks like you've been able to maintain, even though long period, maintain a nice clean design. Any other little tricks or secrets were involved in this build?
Probably mainly the hand-shaped devil tail mounts for the fender and the top motor mount. Those were probably the trickiest pieces on there. Everything else was pretty straightforward.
Well, we really appreciate your time and your support of the AMD World Championship. Builders like you that take the time and put this effort and dedication is really appreciated by the public and AMD, and thank you again for taking your time for the interview today.
No, thanks for having me. It's one of my best favorite shows to be in, so it's definitely a privilege to be here under the tent with everybody else, so I'm glad to be here.
Hello, I'm Shelby, and you're watching the AMD World Championship of Custom Bike Building vidcast. We are sponsored in part by S&S, Custom Works, Rivera Primo.